All right. So we're continuing our discussion on from stress to samadhi. Life is full of stress, and for the most of the people, that's life. Stress is life. Life is stress, and is totally synonymous with each other.
You cannot think beyond that.
And the life has not been thought of beyond that. So samadhi is something that is possible. Good morning. And if we analyze the whole situation, what are the causes of the stress, and then how to get rid of it, things are still possible. And it is totally compatible with life. In fact, life becomes more enjoyable. So first thing we talked about was the past. We talked about that in the first lecture, that carrying the load of the past is useless. Past cannot be changed. And the life that has been going on, it will hold on to its memory. You don't have to hold on to the memories of the past, and you let it go. The second thing that we've been discussing now is the ego. That is, now the past, even if you can forget the past, sometimes the future and the present both can hold you, really. And what can create the stress out of your present situation is your ego. The ego is when you think yourself as a totally individual and yourself separate than somebody else, superior to somebody else, your desires, your likes and dislikes and whatever, your identities, your religions and your work, and all these things are loaded on you. Your brain has been kind of reformatted, because you were really born in a samadhi. When you were born, you were totally innocent. You had no exposure to anything. But all these things are loaded onto you as if it's like a preloaded program. As soon as you're born, God never sent a computer with a program on it. It was totally reformatted hard drive. But the first software gets in, and this is how you should be operating. The Windows, and then so Linux, So it's like this is how you're gonna be working throughout your life, right, till you die, and until you become next computer again, and then life goes on like a machine. So our minds have been formatted to live in certain fashion, and we cannot get out of it. So that's where the stress comes in. But there is a life beyond that. Somebody asked Rajneesh a question: why people are looking for peace and samadhi and all that? So his analogy was very interesting. He says that it is a fight to look for the perfect womb. You are in a womb, you are totally climate controlled. Your temperatures are taken care of, your eating needs are taken care of, your defecating needs are taken care of. Everything, it's like a perfectly balanced life. And when you're born, that's the trauma of the birth. You don't like it. Everything that was provided to you is being taken away. So now we keep on trying to go back to that situation. And science does the same thing. Science has created air conditions and heating units and things like that to provide you the same acclimatizing temperature so that you don't have anything to complain. So science provides the outside needs, the material needs, and the religions try to calm down your internal needs. So why do you have to get angry? Do not steal, do not do that, do not do that. So then you'll be fine, this and that and all that. The question is, all these are efforts to undo which you have done, basically. So samadhi was already there.
Right.
So they're not doing anything. Meanwhile, they're charging you thousands and thousands of dollars and giving you this mantra and then this jap and then this facility, $1 million home, whatever, and for which you have to work. So samadhi is your birthright. You're born with a samadhi.
Nobody other than human species work in the universe. Only
Exactly.
human species work.
Exactly.
Everybody else is enjoying life.
Right, enjoying life. So if we all can synchronize with our basic state, this is our birthright. This is what we have. All we just have to discover it. That's all. So we have to undo the things And I'm in that process too, to get just undo whatever we have done.
Purging process.
Purging process.
You know,
right.
Shrenik Bhai, why people are afraid? Because they think that if they find it, the truth is threatening sometime.
Exactly. Because they are not used to it.
Yeah, truth is very
Because
threatening.
there is nobody there to agree with you. Because if they would be agreeing with you, then their own samadhi is broken.
But then it's not truth.
It's not truth.
It's not truth.
Absolutely.
It's only endorsement.
So ego and is useless. See, the thing is that in this world, everything is indestructible. To really think about it. From small point of view, a micro point of view, maybe it is. Like for you, the sun rises, but then sun sets in the evening. But it's the same sun. Sun never rose and sun never set. The same way you think that this and this particular person died. The soul went to heaven, whatever. But the body is still there. It's like when you build a house. You put the same bricks and mortars and everything. And then, okay, I don't like this house. I want to dismantle it.
Right.
The same bricks, same mortar, same woods, every piece is still there.
Like Legos.
So you think that, yeah, it's a Legos. So everything is a recycled material. So whatever...
That's a good conquer.
Right?
Legos is a good...
So what happens is everything is being recycled. Same molecules we talked about were making dinosaurs are making us now. There is not much of a difference. So the only thing that is really made and destroyed is the ego. Your interactions with the surroundings, in that interactions you create your likes and your dislikes. So you are creating something out of nothing. So if you had an interaction with a certain situation, you loved it, and then the next situation is something you didn't like it. So you created a likeness for this situation, and then when you are in a bad situation, you're gonna hate that because that situation was better than this situation, whatever. But temporarily the ego was created. Ego was totally created out of nothing. It was not necessary at all. So egos are created and egos have to be destroyed. That's the real death. But otherwise, death to the body. What death? The same body is going to be recycled, going to be making something else. So that process goes on all the time. There is nothing to destroy. See, if you really think that anything dies, then it still maintains its existence. So it used to exist. A wood used to exist. You made a house out of it. House is dismantled. Wood is still there. Okay, wood gets deteriorated, becomes food into some other animals, and then it goes on basically. The tiny insects come and eat, and in a different form or the other, the existence never changes. So existence can never become unexistence. So death is just a relative term. So ego is our creation, and we don't realize that we are part of something huge. That's why we talked about the galaxies and black hole and dark matter and dark energy. All these things are operating at such a high level. Our ego is so flimsy. It has no meaning at all. It's not necessary at all, right? So life is a continuous flow, and we have to flow with it. But the flow that is happening is not happening because of us. The flow is happening on its own, and we are just part of that flow. It's better to be a part of that flow and enjoy the flow rather than try to create your own separate flow. That's wrong thinking, because that's based on the ego. That's why we talked about the Zen monk and his kaddus. So all the kaddus were related to each other. The same sap was going through all the kaddus. So basically, same wine was supporting all kaddus. So we are all kaddus. We are all supported by the gigantic consciousness. So at that point, the harmony with the surrounding, harmony with the nature, harmony with the people around you is what is needed to really get rid of the stress. And that's where the ego starts going down. So in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, there is a beautiful slok. I'll just give you the gist of it. They say, be friend for everyone. Develop friendship for everyone. You synchronize. And when you're friend with everyone, you don't have hatred. You don't have trying to be superior to them. You are not inferior to them. You be at the same level. So be friends for all, right? Second is, be sympathetic to the troubled. If somebody is going through trouble, The last thing you want to do is you feel good. Oh, gee, at least I'm doing good. At least have some sympathy. Maybe you're not able to do anything for them, but at least have a sympathy for the troubled. So at least you're synchronizing with the flow of the consciousness. Maybe somebody's going through rough times, but have sympathy for them. And then be happy for somebody who is happy. So somebody is really enjoying good wealth, good health, good prosperity. Be happy for him that he must have worked hard and he deserves it. There's nothing wrong with that. But trying to be jealous of that, that just cuts down the relationship. The ego again comes into the action. So be happy for somebody who is happy, and then be indifferent to somebody who is crook. So somebody who is a crooked guy, just don't pay attention. Because the more you try to change him or try to fight, and all those things are going to be counterproductive, going to take your peace away, and then ultimately you lose your chance to reach to Samadhi. So these are 4 important situations where what kind of mindset you should keep. So be friends for everyone, be happy for somebody who is happy, and be sympathetic to somebody who is going through suffering. And for a crook, just be indifferent. So that way you maintain your state of mind. So the thing is that so far we have known only one love. Love your wife, love your children, love your friends, love your country, immediate things. But we have never seen a love that is beyond that. So what happens is, this kind of love, we've been doing it for generations. For multiple lives we have done that. But only when your ego drops and then you see the connection of yourself with the rest of the world, and not just the people, even the animals, even the stones and the rocks, every single piece of the environment that is around us is trying to recreate that, and every single thing is fed by the sap of consciousness in a different form. It could be a dormant consciousness in a stone to a very, very lively consciousness in a human being, and anywhere in between. But all that is fed by the same sap of consciousness. So when you realize that common thread among all of us, that's when the real love starts. And the real love starts when you realize that you belong to one big picture, not an individual. So that sutra of knowing the same consciousness will generate a love for all. That's when you realize that every single thing in the nature, from a tiny ant to a leaf that is dying, to a butterfly that is being born, to a child that is born, everything is linked, and we are all into the same vast, complex consciousness. And when that happens, the ego starts reducing. Ego is